Okay, so per a request that I got from Anime Jesus Lover, she asked me to do a review on my doll family boy. And this is my wonderful doll family boy. He's an SD. His skin is normal pink skin, which is really hard to compare because I have yellow light right now. But for a quick comparison, I guess, I'm going to use this Shasta can. Very hard to see, but this Shasta can is actually, like, if you know the color of the Shasta can, ignore the fact that it's metal, you can kind of see a comparison of what the shade actually is in person. It's lighter, it's not as gold. Normal pink. I forgot if I said that. Normal pink. So I'm going to review the basic jointing of this body without stripping him because I don't feel like doing it. And also because he has the shirt on and off, I need a second pair of hands of my friend's boyfriend. So yeah, I'm going to avoid that. I guess we're going to start with the head because that's usually where people like to start. So if you take a look at your doll family's head, sorry if the lighting is terrible. Take a look at his head. You have an easy map to go on. You have two eyes, you have ears, ta-da, ears, you have lips, you have a chin, and you have a nice, his head can't turn that much, it can turn back around. It doesn't have an upward motion that it can do, or it has a better downward motion, so they're better for looking down. Okay. If you look to the back of the head, there's the doll family logo. It's on the back of his head. Right there. DF. It's inscribed on the outside rather than on the inside for some reason. To get the head cap off, you just lift and pull. Some doll families have magnetic head caps, I guess. Some have little hooks, and this one just has a dot system going on where there's 3 dots that you just put into place. 1, 2. And it snaps on like that. I actually like this hold a bit better than my doll family's boy because his magnet on the top right here is starting to come loose. So if we take a look at our eyes, I forget what size he's wearing. It's the normal size that people have in their SDs. You have an S hook in here. I'm so sorry about this lighting, it's terrible. You have an S hook, and then as you turn your boy backwards, there's this little slit right here, very hard to see. The S hook is in a little T cradle that it sits in the head, and whenever you pull it up and turn it sideways, it goes through this bigger loop. There are some people who like to have their knots for their elastic in the head. I don't, because it makes it, as you can see, really hard to adjust the eyes and stuff. This is actually a very wide head. For anyone wondering, my doll family is the Xiang Yi sculpt, so a different SD might have a different inner head, but I think they're mostly all the same. Moving on, we're going to go to the arms. They have double jointed arms. Can't see their arm really well. Yeah, they have double jointed arms, nice and smooth. Basically, it's as you can see out here, it's very tight. I don't get to play with it much. Basically, this little joint right here, and it has a nub right here. That's the elbow portion that you look at. So you turn it like that. There's one bend. Turn it like that. There's another bend, as you can see. And it's supposed to be that all doll families should be able to touch their face. My boy doesn't want to behave right now. Come on, bend. I'm tempted to make him touch his face right now. Sometimes I can get him to do it. I got him to do this really awesome pose the other day. It was like that. He was lying down and it worked good. So now we're going to move on to the torso. Okay, so here's our torso. Very simple. Some people don't like this double ribbing going on right here. But you have one set of ribs right here and they have another set right here. They meet up with each other, but it's just, it's visually awkward. You have a nice bust test. You have a good neckline. So sorry, this is so hard to see. They have a nice good neckline going on right there. They have a torso joint right here that comes up, and then it goes up in the back as well, so you can see. It doesn't have any knobs in it, or it has a little knob, one tiny little knob right there to knock on. But as you can see, it's not really that good for anything besides slouching, really. You can bend backwards as well. I'm so sorry, this is odd. You can bend backwards. And you can send side to side a little bit too. My guy's really tight, so this isn't fair to him. And side to side. And you can turn backwards. And they can slouch forwards. Most people like dolls to be able to slouch. They can't slouch. It looks funny. Now, funny thing about the way their back is this little bit right there. I guess they're not supposed to be able to slouch that far. They're supposed to be able to slouch a little bit. It never seems to happen a little bit. Always is a lot. But that's also because I've done no modifications to this doll. So there's no sueding. There's no sueding or wiring in him, and he's pretty dang nosed, and his elastic is too short, so he's pretty kicky. So he's a moody guy. They have no thigh joint right in here. This is, okay, to re-illuminate you. Here's his belly button right here, okay, where the button is. Here's the belly button. Here's his hip joint right here. This is where he's able to bend. He has a really good butt, so he's able to bend like that. Straight leg and bend. Straight leg and bend. Really good joint like that. But they don't have a thigh joint, so they can't sit like cross-legged or whatever other people like to do with thigh joints. Their legs are double jointed. This is basically a larger version of what their elbow is. If you can see. Elbow, knee. Basically a larger version of them. And they have the exact same thing, so. Straight leg. Come on, go down. Straight leg. One bend. And then two bends, which allows them to squat. Look at that. Now the sad thing about these guys is their feet posing. While they have a little bit of movement in their feet, not really worth anything. Bend back a little bit, go forward, nothing really stays. You can kind of turn it. But whenever you turn it, I'm moving the hip joint all the way up. So, it really depends on the way the leg is designed right here. You have the swoop, like that, and it's not a separate ball joint, so they don't have really good feet ability. They're good only to stand, I guess, in this sense. So, that is a doll family SD boy. Their hands have a ball joint. Applaud this ball joint. Gives the hand a lot of posability. I didn't go over the hand. The hand has the ball joint, has posability, can bend around really well. And their hands are a decent size. They aren't slim, but they aren't like really chubby either. And they have nice nail details on them too. Considering that his body is blank, he's a really nice looking doll. Yeah. I'm going to attempt to see if I can get a little bit closer to his face. I'm really sorry you guys can't see this, but the integrity that they have on his face right here is amazing. They have this great sculpt underneath his nose for the front of the lip. They have that great detail there. They have a good chin definition going on there too. And their ears look pretty good too. I'm really in love with their ears. Some people don't like their doll families or boys in general to have eyelashes. I actually like mine with eyelashes. I think it gives him a better, softer look that he kind of deserves and needs because his eyes look so cold, and I think without them. So yeah, that's my doll family boy. He is a doll family Xiang Yi SD. He's 63 centimeters tall. By comparison, I'm 5 feet tall, which is about 150 centimeters. And here is him standing. Here's his feet. They're going to go sit down on my thigh. And I'm sitting. Okay, now I'm sitting straight up. So, he's a good size. Yeah. Doll family, in terms of measurements, they do have a bit bigger of thighs, so The pants that my boy is wearing is from... I think the pants he's wearing is from April House. Yeah, I think his pants are from April House. His wig is from Kroby. It's a 9 to 8 Kroby wig. You really want to keep in mind what wig sizes you buy for doll family, because their heads are closer to a 9 than an 8. So if you buy a wig that just happens to be closer to an 8 than a 9, then it's not going to fit. And his wig fits on his head really, really snug, so really if this wig was any smaller, it would not fit him at all. It does have movement. It can move around on his face. This is a really nice, good quality wig. I can't tell you where I got the shirt from because I got it in a Halloween swap. I also don't have his shoes on him right now, but his shoes I believe I got from Apple House as well. And they're a good standard size. Mostly the thing that you'll come up with whenever you buy clothes for your doll family boys. The pants that I bought originally for him from Dalmore were too small on him, and they stopped about mid-range in his thigh. They just wouldn't go up past his thigh anymore. It might have just been the pair of pants that were SD size. I'm tempted to buy another pair that's not as slack. It was a slack style, and it was really tight and kind of fantasy and ethic looking. So I'm tempted to try another kind that might not be as tight, and that might look better on him. So yeah, that's my doll family. Xiang Yi. Danahan. Your doll will not have this issue. If you string them correctly, they'll be fine. I guess I'm going to go over the packaging a little bit because I didn't videotape his packaging. Whenever I got him, well, I kind of did, but you couldn't really see anything. When he was in the box, he was sitting pretty much like he is right now, except with his arms down. His legs were sitting like that in the box, maybe extended a little bit more. So whenever I lay him down in his box to store him, he doesn't really fit. He's a little bit too tall, so it's a snug fit for him. So if you like to store your dolls in boxes, keep that in mind as you open and close the box. It might have a little bit of a bowing effect whenever he's put into it, just because his size. Also with their feet, I really want to go into detail about their feet a little bit for a minute here. They have really good toe design going on. I know it's really hard to see. They have toenails, this really nice thing. They have a little bit of a detail going up the front of their foot, but it's no veins. That's why I love this guy. He has no veins visibly on his body that bother me so much. He has detail right here underneath his foot. A little bit of muscle bending you can see. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a 3D effect to the bottom of his feet. Some dolls have flat feet. His obviously aren't flat feet. You can see on his toes. No, not really. His toes are rounded, but they're not flat. And he has really good toenail details. His toes are not split apart, meaning there's no space between them. Except a little bit on his pinky, on this toe. There's a little bit of a tear in the resin, and you can see just a little minuscule hole. I believe that concludes it for the doll family. If there was something that I didn't cover about the doll family that you want to know, go ahead and ask. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. The age of this doll is not very old. I got him probably in January, February, March. I think I got him about March or April. I think I got him in April. I got him just a little bit after SakuraCon this year, so probably a few weeks after Easter. He wasn't with me for SakuraCon. So yeah, he's not that old. As such, his resin hasn't aged. I haven't cleaned him or anything. This is the face-up he came with. So this is the face-up done by the company. I asked for a custom style face-up because I didn't like the color of the lips that the Xiang Yi had, so I asked them to color the Ling Feng on his lips color. And I think they added a little bit to his ears. There's a little bit of pinkness on the bottom of his ears that they encouraged in. So yes, if there was something I didn't cover about the doll family that you want to know, go ahead and ask.